لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. ثم الصلاة والسلام على النبي الأمي القرشي الهاشمي الأبطي التامي الخاتم لما سبق والفاتح لمن غلق، المعلن الحق بالحق، الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم مصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله، ثم اللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين، غاصبي حقوقهم منكري فضائلهم، من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد وقوله الحق: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ألف لام ميم، ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد عجل فرجه.
Let us all purify our souls and bless our gathering with a louder salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد عجل فرجه.
Quran gives us a system of teachings and gives us a model which is an ethical model. Quran and Ahl Bayt have given us everything to practice and to reach the levels of prosperity. Now it is upon us to either practice it or not to practice it. If we see there is a problem amongst the Muslim Ummah, it is not because Ahl Bayt والسلام, or the Quran has not given us something. It is because we are lacking behind and we don't practice enough. Therefore, we are here to understand what Quran has to teach us, and especially with the barakah of this month, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten our hearts and minds with these ayats and with the traditions and narrations of Ahl Bayt والسلام that we are here for and we want to understand and study. Now, Quran tells us, just continuing from where we left last night, Quran told us everything. Tells us about our capabilities, about our abilities, and also informs us about our enemies. It is very important. Quran tells us about two important enemies. One is the Shaytan and the second is our nafs. So these two enemies are sworn enemies, open enemies. Therefore we have to stay aware, stay alert. Quran tells us that this Shaytan, لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. We all know this. We all have almost 88 times Quran uses the word shaitan or shayateen. Now, it is so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, informs us, you have to beware of this enemy. You have to beware. It is waiting for you. The moment you let your guard down, shaitan is going to attack you. The moment he feels you are vulnerable, he's going to attack you. Now this is what Shaytan is. إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. He's an open enemy to you. لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Don't follow in the footsteps of Shaytan because he is an open enemy. In Surah Yasin, we recite Surah Yasin, and in many of other surahs and chapters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَمْ أَعْهَدْ إِلَيْكُمْ يَا بَنِي آدَمَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا الشَّيْطَانَ. Have we not agreed upon something, O children of Adam? We have agreed upon. There is a covenant between us. There is an agreement between us. There is a promise between us that you cannot worship Shaytan. Allah ta'budu Shaytan. Don't worship Shaytan. Some of us, we don't understand. We sometimes follow Shaytan in a way that we start worshipping Shaytan. We leave worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we start worshipping Shaytan. And now Shaytan, let me clarify this. Shaytan is not only Iblis. Shaytan is a sifat. Shaytan is an adjective. It's a quality. Anything that misguides you, anything that leads you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is known as Shaytan. Anything that inflicts harm, spiritual harm in your spiritual life is known as Shaytan. Now this Shaytan is Aduwwun Mubin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we have agreed upon something. أَلَمْ أَعْهَدْ إِلَيْكُمْ يَا بَنِي آدَمَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا الشَّيْطَانَ إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. He's your open enemy. So therefore this Shaytan can be in different shapes, in different sizes, in different faces. Can be insan, can be a jinn, can be something else. These mobile phone, these devices can be Shaytan, because they might lead us to somewhere where there is no Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where there is always satanic thoughts. This internet can lead you, it can be Shaytan sometimes. These news channels, these movies, these dramas, everything, anything that leads you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is known as Shaytan. So you cannot blame always some unseen power that is misguiding you. No, sometimes that Shaytan is in your pocket. Yes, it is right there. But we have to be aware. We have to understand, we have to know that this Shaytan can come any moment in our lives. Therefore, don't follow the footsteps of Shaytan. لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. And ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان. We don't have to obey Shaytan. We don't have to worship Shaytan. إنه لكم عدو مبين أن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم. You have to obey and worship me. This is the right path. This is Sirat al-Mustaqim. This is what you have been praying every time, 5 times a day in your prayers. Ehdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, Ehdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Why? Because you need to remind yourself. And I told you, Shaitan, what it does, it makes you forget the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It gives you false promises. It gives you false promises. It is going to leave you halfway. Shaitan is not your friend. Some of us, we think that this social media is our best friend. We have left our relations. That is something, very unfortunate. Our kids these days, this is a different topic, but let me just point it out. Our kids these days, they don't know how to communicate. They are living a virtual life. They can chat hours and hours on the WhatsApp, but they cannot communicate with their elders. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to open a conversation. They don't know how to greet. They don't know how to wish. They don't know how to express themselves. Why? They are always, trying to. And also, let me tell you, while they type, they are not even using correct vocabularies. Their grammar is also wrong. It's not that you are learning something, you are learning a good way of framing sentences. No, that is also wrong. Where are we going? This is all Shaitan. If you are using it in the right way, okay, it's good. But don't test yourself. This Shaitan, you never know from where it can come, how it can come. It is always there. You have to be aware. The moment you let your guard down, I told you, the moment you detach yourself from the ayat, it is going to get and grab you. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again, it's a beautiful ayah, which reminds us what is the quality of this Shaitan. Listen to this. Surah Mubarak al-Hashr, verse number 16 and 17. Allah wa ta'ala says, كَمَثَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ إذ قال للإنسان أكفر فلما كفر قال إني بريء منك الله أكبر. This is Shaitan. This is what we are following. Shaitan comes and tells a man, and this is a story, I will read the story for you. Shaitan comes and tells a man,
says, Ukfur, kamathal shaitan, these munafiqeen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these munafiqeen are like shaitan. What does they do? What do they do? They come and they promise you something and then they leave you halfway. They don't fulfill their promises. They're going to leave you in the worst of scenarios and situations. Shaitan will come and tell you, Ukfur, idh qala shaitan, ash-shaitanu idh qala lil-insani ukfur. The shaitan came and told man to disbelieve. Ukfur. Leave your iman, leave your faith and do kufr, ukfur. فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ. And as soon as that man left his faith, shaitan will turn his back and say, قَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنْكَ. I don't concern, you don't concern me. I don't need you, you don't need me. I turn my back to you. That is where shaitan is going to leave you. Will tell you to do kufr and then turn his back and leave you alone in that state of kufr. And then the shaitan itself says, Inni akhafu Allah Rabbal Alameen. You are not afraid of your Allah, but I am afraid. Inni akhafu Allah Rabbal Alameen. This is the hypocrisy. He will come and misguide you from Allah and then tell you again that I'm afraid of Allah. You know why shaitan will not be your partner? Because shaitan knows that Allah, who has been giving you sustenance, life and everything, when you can betray Allah, then how can you be faithful to me? That is where shaitan betrays you. That is where shaitan leaves you. And then Allah says, فَكَانَ عَاقِبَتُهُمَا. And then the aqibat and the fate of these two, shaitan and the follower, أَنَّهُمَا فِي النَّارِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. They are going to live in the hellfire for eternity. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. There is no one to save. There is no one to protect. And what is this ayah telling us? This ayah is telling us that this shaitan will come and do this waswasa, this temptation. And as soon as you follow shaitan, the moment you follow shaitan, that is the moment he's going to leave you. Because his work is done. Because he has misguided you. And this story is, again, I'm giving you this story so that you remember the concept. And this story is there in different narrations and especially in Tafsir Namuna, it's there. This story is related to one of the pious people living at the time of Bani Israel. His name was Barsisa Abid. His name was Barsisa. And he was a very pious man, very famous for his piety, for his wisdom. And he was someone who used to cure people. People used to come with the patients, the ill people, sick people, and then he used to recite something. And especially those who were not in their senses, who were insane. So he used to recite something and they used to get cured. So one day this Barsisa, this Abid, this pious person, he used to live outside the city, the outskirts of the city, outside the population. He used to live outside, and a group of brothers came with their sister, and they asked Barsisa to cure the sister, their sister. And he said, she has to stay here for a few days. I cannot cure her in a day, and she has to stay here. So they knew the Abid was a pious person, so they did not fear anything, and they left the sister with him, and they went. And the Abid asked them to come after a few days. The day when he was left alone with the young lady, the sister of these brothers, Shaytan came. And this is the moment when Shaytan comes. This is something very important. Shaytan came, and that night came and started these temptations, this waswasa. I told you, he does waswasa. He's not going to grab your hand and going to pull you. You are not majboor. You will have your free will, and you are going to do it with your free will, but you will follow those waswasa. You have to be careful. This waswasa is something, and nafs al-ammara is something very dangerous. You have to control that nafs al-ammara. So Shaitan came, and started the temptation and started tempting this Abid. Have a look at this lady. She's alone. You are alone. And he was inviting for that sin. And he overwhelmed this Abid. And at the end, he committed that sin. What he shouldn't have. And this is the time that we all have to understand, especially my young children, the young girls, the young boys. You have to understand, never test yourself with an mahram relation. Never test yourself. Don't say, oh no, I'm going to control myself. He's my, just a friend. And she is just a friend. No. You will never know when Shaitan is going to come. The moment he comes, the moment you slip, that is it. And then sin after sin after sin. You have to be careful. Very careful. That is why, Quran says, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and the Sharia has given a title of na mahram. Why? Because na mahram, you have to have a special distance between na mahram. Some of our gatherings are not appropriate. Unfortunately, some of our gatherings are not good. Some people say, no, Maulana, you are talking about, you're very narrow-minded. You have to be broad-minded. You have to think for the future. This is the new generation. You cannot keep the boys and the girls away. They have to sit together in a class, Even sometimes in our Imam Bargahs, there are occasions, there are ceremonies, there are programs in the name of Islam, but there is misgathering. This mixed gathering will lead to something that people, especially the young ones, they're going to regret later on. You never know when that spark happens, and that is the waswasa of Shaytan. So be aware from this. This is the waswasa of Shaytan. So this Shaytan came and told the Barsisa, the Abid, just do it, and he committed the sin. And in the morning, he regretted. And he was saying, what have I done? I've done something bad. And the Shaytan came and said, she's insane and she won't tell anybody. But Shaytan came again and said, why are you worried? So Barsisa replied, you are mal'oon. You led me into this sin. Now what do I do? He said, no problem, I will tell you the solution. Just kill her, bury her somewhere. Nobody will know. Again, see, crime after crime, sin after sin. So Barsisa listened to Shaitan and he did what Shaitan asked him to do, and he killed the young lady and he buried outside of his house. After a few days, the brothers came looking for her sister. She might have been cured. When they came, they understood what had happened. They went back. Long story short, the court was set up. The Abid was called into the court and he confessed his crime. He confessed his sin that he has done this. Now the verdict was passed that he should be hanged till death. Now when they tied his hand and they tied his feet and he was put on that platform and the rope was tied around his neck, right before that moment when he was to be executed, Shaitan again came. Look, Shaitan is not going to leave you. Once you follow, he will keep on following you. The moment you let your guard down, that is what I'm telling you. My young audience, the youth, especially the young boys and girls, the moment you let your guard down, that is the moment Shaitan is going to come and do this waswasa. And then there is no one else to blame except yourself. Shaitan again came, said, what happened? He started crying and cursing, Shaitan, Iblis, Mal'oon, Rajim, you are the one, because of you I am here in this situation. And I'm going to die now, they're going to kill me. So Shaitan said, don't worry, I have a solution for you. Again, I have a solution for you. So what is the solution now? Who can save me? Who can protect me from this verdict? So don't worry, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to show you the way out. So what is the way out? So you know what? If you do sajda to me, just a simple prostration, do sajda to me. Ukfur. What Quran says? Quran says, قَالَ لِلْإِنسَانِ أُكْفُرْ. Disbelieve. You don't have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not going to protect you. I will protect you. This is how Shaitan comes into your lives, into our lives. This is all for me first, and then for you to, just listen if you want to practice it in your life. I'm talking to myself. This is how Shaitan comes. So he said, how are you going to protect me? He said, just do a sajda to me. Ukfur, disbelieve. So he said, you don't look at me. My hands are tied, my feet are tied. I have a rope around my neck. How can I do sajda? So Shaitan said, no, don't worry, I have the solution for that also. You just have to make a little gesture of your eyes, just a blink of your eye, and make an intention that you want to do sajda to me. That is it. And then I'm going to protect you. I'm going to save you from this execution. So the moment, فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ, the moment he left his faith, that was the moment he died. فَلَمَّا كَفَرَ قَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِّنْكَ. The moment he left his faith, that moment Shaitan turned away and said, Inni bari'um, I'm showing my bara'at from you. I don't care. You don't concern me. That is what Shaitan does. He will lead you, bring you towards the brink of falling towards kufr, and that is when he's going to leave you. That is how Shaitan is. فَإِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. 88 times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of Shaitan. And the Shaitan, I'm telling you, it can be a jinn, it can be insan, it can be in any shape or in any kind. You have to look forward to it. You have to be careful what friends you are choosing. what classmates you are having, whom you are roaming around with, what are your, in which company do you sit in, whom are you roaming around with. This can be something misleading. And when this happened, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَكَانَ عَاقِبَتَهُمَا أَنَّهُمَا فِي النَّارِ. And both of them are going to go to hell for eternity. So this is one enemy, Shaytan. And the second enemy, what? The second enemy is the nafs. And this nafs is, as Surah Shams we recite, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. This goodness, just a last point very quickly. I just want to finish this, please bear with me a few more moments. I know the time is over, but just a few more moments, so that I can start, inshallah, from tomorrow night. I will start those topics, specific topics, and inshallah, I will talk about trustworthiness, inshallah, tomorrow. When Quran tells us that we have taught you about good and bad, that means it is there within ourselves. It is there. It is there. The attraction towards good, it's there within us. Everybody is attracted towards goodness, kindness, beauty. The moment you see a beautiful flower, you're going to praise it. The moment you see something bad that disgusts you, you're going to repel. You're going to avoid it. You're going to stay away from it. This is there. Husn wa qub aqli, we believe in that. Therefore, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it within you. But where do we make the mistake? Where do everybody make mistake? The love for good and the hatred for bad is there within us. But we sometimes miscalculate and do not understand what is good and what is bad. That is where we make mistake. We don't know, we don't understand what is our benefit, what is in our benefit, and what is going to harm us. We have to understand what is good for us and what is bad for us. And this phenomenon exists all around us. If I give you an explanation, when you look into this universe, there are two forces into play. There is a force of attraction and there is a force of repulsion. There is a pull and a push every time. Every single moment you are in the state of making a choice. Either you do it or you don't do it. Either you go towards it or you don't go towards it. Why? Because this attraction, this repulsion is there in you. It's always into play. This is, nobody can refute and reject this idea that there is a force which is known as attraction and there is a force which is known as repulsion. The whole universe is based upon this. No institute, no organization, no religion can exist without this phenomenon, without this nature of attraction and repulsion. When you understand this phenomenon, and this is the world I was talking about, when you understand that there is a pull and a push, there is attraction and a repulsion, you talk about this attraction and repulsion in physics and in different sciences. But when this phenomenon, when this idea comes into the Islamic traditions, when we talk about this attraction and repulsion in ilmul kalam, in aqaid, in belief system, this attraction and repulsion is known as tawalla and tabarra. You understand now? This is there everywhere. People sometimes they're obsessed and they're afraid to talk about tabarra. Maulana tabarra, it's taboo. Don't talk about it. No, it's there. No deen can exist without this concept. No ideology can exist without this concept of tawalla and tabarra, this bara'at and this wilayat. It is there. Therefore, it is not only in aqaid, it is also there in akhlaq. It's there within you. So where the problem is, the only problem is that we sometimes misunderstand what is good and what is bad. Therefore, we have it within ourselves. We like to go towards good. We hate and we don't like to go towards bad. But there was a need for for someone to tell us what is good and what is bad. Everybody likes purity. Everybody likes purity. Everybody likes perfection. That is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Oh Allah, we have this attractions towards purity. Where is this purity? Says Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. Says innama yuridullah. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala has purified the household of Ahlul Bayt in a way that he should have purified them. This is how you get attracted. You don't have to, nobody has to tell you to go and love Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein. As soon as you understand the beauty in Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, you will be attracted towards them. And whoever is against them, you will repel. You will have this bara'a. Nobody has to tell you. People sometimes, they are exaggerating. People sometimes don't talk about it. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to address. It's something there. You are trying to avoid something which is in your nature. Why are you doing that? Now, Alhamdulillah, we have understood regarding the issue of Karbala. We have understood where is good and where is bad. Now, you get the whole concept. I hope I'm able to deliver you the whole concept. If there is any doubt, please ask me later on. When it comes to Karbala, it is so apparent that you mu'mineen, we, the Shi'as, with the help of Ahlul Bayt, we have made people understand the evil of Yazid. Therefore, today, nobody wants to attribute himself to Yazid. Nobody will say, I'm a Yazidi. But even if you see someone, not even a Muslim, not even a Shia, when you talk about the sacrifice and the beauty of Karbala regarding Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, they will all call themselves Husseini. Why? Because this is the attraction. This is the wilaya. This is tawalla. They are getting close, but they have to accept the wilaya. They are getting close, but unfortunately, we have not succeeded enough in making people understand the same concept regarding Imam Hassan, Imam Ali, and Lady Zahra Salamullah alayhi. I'm sorry for the extended few minutes, but this was important to address, that we have to understand, and we have to first ourselves we need to understand, and then we have to promote it in the best manner possible, so that people understand the beauty of the seerah of Hazrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. And then when they are attracted to Hazrat Zahra, there is no chance that they would be attracted towards the enemies of Hazrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. There comes this bara'ah. This is the bara'ah. This is the repulsion. And this is there in akhlaq. Once you talk about ghiba, you know the evils of ghiba, you will not be attracted to it. You have to understand what is ghiba. You have to understand what is hasad. You have to understand what evil lies in breaking promises, what evil lies in breaking other people's trust. Inshallah, tomorrow we will continue this and we'll talk about trustworthiness, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to understand the Holy Quran and to implement it in our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the barakah and the blessings of these auspicious days and nights of the month of Ramadan, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all to the right path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the path which is the path of Ahlul Bayt, which is Sirat al-Mustaqim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all the mu'mineen around the globe, wherever there are the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, they are ill, they are sick. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure them from their disease and from their sickness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count us all amongst the companions of Imam of our time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time. Wa akhiru da'wana. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.